Elle a dansé avec Pacino et donné la réplique muette à Dujardin. Penelope Ann Miller incarne Nancy Reagan dans un nouveau biopic. Le super-héros derrière les super-héros, portrait de Kevin Feige, patron de Marvel. Plus, Tim Burton retrouve Michael Keaton pour la suite de Beetlejuice et Hollywood. C'est en immersion. Bienvenue à Los Angeles. Il y a deux types de patrons de studio ici à Hollywood. D'un côté, l'image stéréotypée du nabab méthodique, réfléchi, prêt à tout pour arriver à ses fins, comme Barry Diller, l'ancien patron de la Paramount et de la Fox, surnommé Barry Killer, ou encore Jeffrey Katzenberg, l'ex-boss de DreamWorks. Et puis il y a le contre-cliché. Il est rare, pour ne pas dire unique, mais il existe. Il a même un nom, Kevin Feige. Impossible de le rater avec cette casquette de baseball qu'il ne quitte quasiment jamais et surtout son éternel sourire. Kevin Feige, dont la présence rassure sur les tapis rouges. Kevin, le fan de bande dessinée, est avant tout l'architecte du MCU, cet univers cinématographique interconnecté similaire à celui des bandes dessinées Marvel. Kevin Feige, le visionnaire avec cette idée géniale en tête, réunir plusieurs super-héros de Marvel dans un seul film, ainsi sont nés les Avengers. 4 films, 4 succès qui ont permis, à travers des intrigues qui se chevauchent, de maintenir l'intérêt des fans.
Every time I'm at a premiere, up to this point, I've had 3 other movies in my head knowing where we were heading, that they were all chapters in the overall story that we were eventually going to bring to a conclusion. Tonight, we bring it to a conclusion. Tonight, I feel like I've actually finished the big, long, giant story that we started with the first Iron Man film.
Ce n'était pourtant pas évident, car le personnage d'Iron Man n'était pas aussi établi dans l'inconscient collectif comme par exemple Spider-Man ou les X-Men. Et parce que, justement, l'araignée et les mutants appartenaient à l'époque à d'autres studios que Marvel Films, Kevin Feige a choisi de mettre en avant ce qu'il avait en catalogue, des super-héros moins connus, mais qui, selon lui, pourraient moderniser le genre à travers une touche unique. Oui, Kevin Feige a personnellement choisi Robert Downey Jr. La suite, on la connaît. La popularité de Kevin Feige n'est plus approuvée auprès des fans comme des stars. Et elles ont tenu ces stars à être présentes pour l'inauguration de son étoile sur Hollywood Boulevard. Une étoile pour l'éternité qui récompense un homme connu pour sa sincérité et son enthousiasme. Un homme qui n'a jamais cessé de croire en ses rêves malgré les nombreux obstacles. Bonjour Kevin Feige.
Hey, how are you?
How are you?
Good.
You're the coolest studio boss in the world.
Thank you.
Myth or reality?
Yes.
You've been rejected 5 times from film school, and the 6th time you applied, you were accepted.
That is reality.
What
yes,
does
that
that tell you today?
It was great. I mean, it tells me what I think everybody tells people who are following their dreams: don't give up. You get rejected, try again. You get rejected, try again. You get rejected, try again. If you lose passion for it, then don't. I never lost passion for it, so I kept trying, and leading to standing with you on a star on the Walk of Fame is pretty surreal.
Merci beaucoup.
Thank you.
Direction Santa Monica pour une interview exclusive. Alors Hollywood Santa Monica, 20 bornes. On a regardé à cette heure-ci, c'est 1 heure de route. Et oui, bienvenue à LA. C'est pour ça qu'on surnomme cette ville le parking. Mal la vue sur Santa Monica et l'océan Pacifique. Santa Monica, où habite l'actrice que nous allons recevoir dans quelques instants. Elle est la star d'un biopic où elle interprète Nancy Reagan, la première dame. Ronald Reagan, lui, est joué par Dennis Quaid. Bande-annonce.
Hello, I'm Nancy Davis.
Hello, Nancy Davis. I'm Ron Reagan.
Welcome to your life.
I was a lifeguard on a river.
There's no turning.
And I learned how to read the currents.
Bonjour, Penelope Ann Miller.
Bonjour.
It's not the first time you play a person that exists, you know, a real life person. And before we talk about the specific character, what is it about playing a real life person?
I would say it's definitely more challenging than playing a fictional character because you can pretty much make up the person in your mind and your own creativity and imagination and what's written on the script, obviously. But somebody who existed, who people are aware of and know, and have seen either in interviews or met, people are going to compare me to them, obviously. And so I do owe it to them as human beings to try and capture their essence as much as possible.
How about a cup of coffee?
Oh, sure.
Have a seat.
Especially someone incredibly iconic like Nancy Reagan. She's probably the most famous person I've played. I read about 6 or 7 books. I interviewed people that worked with her, her press secretary, and her own autobiography was like my Bible. I mean, I carried it with me and made notes and had sticky paper, and I worked with the writer a lot and the director. All of the stuff that she talked about in her book that I wanted to bring life to, that I thought was really important, because she was such an important person in the life of Reagan.
We are the greatest country in the world, and we have just forgotten it.
Like, I didn't see this coming.
What did you find about Nancy Reagan that you didn't know before taking the role?
There was a lot I found out about her. She was sort of a force of nature. She really was a very powerful woman in her own right. But her main goal was to support her husband, to make sure he was protected and surrounded by the right people. And even their son, Ron Jr., said, my father would never have been president if it wasn't for my mom.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall.
Whatever political, side of the spectrum, why do you think so? I mean, people are so interested to see the biopic.
I'm so happy that you say that, because I don't know, I hear this from so many people around me that are Democrats, Republicans, whatever, that are really excited to see the film, and I think they're just really fascinated about the story and about the legacy. I think because this is a political climate at the moment, there's that part of it, but there's also what didn't we know that we can find out? And is there something to this? Can we learn something from it? Hopefully, maybe.
Adorable Penelope Ann Miller. On va le retrouver tout à l'heure, Penelope Ann Miller. On va parler de sa carrière, on va parler de The Artist. Elle était dedans, souvenez-vous. On va parler des classiques qui nous ont marqués, comme Chaplin de Sir Richard Attenborough, Carlitos Way avec Al Pacino, ou encore Premier pas dans la mafia aux côtés de Marlon Brando. Et justement, en parlant de premiers pas, eh bien, nous sommes allés puiser dans nos archives pour retrouver les premiers pas de certains acteurs et certaines actrices qui, depuis, sont devenus des superstars. Regardez, vous allez être étonnés. L'oasis de tranquillité, à quelques kilomètres seulement de Los Angeles. Nous sommes à Santa Clarita, banlieue réputée pour son cadre de vie. C'est à Santa Clarita que Walt Disney, en 1961, a construit l'Institut californien pour les arts, surnommé CalArts. Cette université est aujourd'hui célèbre pour avoir formé les plus grands noms de l'animation. Parmi les anciens élèves, Pete Docter, réalisateur de Là-haut, ou vice-versa, 3 fois oscarisé. Brad Bird, 2 Oscars. Brad Bird, qui avant Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, nous avait offert Ratatouille et Les Indestructibles. Lui aussi est un ancien diplômé de CalArts. Curieusement, il n'a jamais remporté la statuette suprême, ce qui ne l'empêche pas d'être une légende.
I now declare today Tim Burton Day in Hollywood!
Tim Burton pour l'éternité sur le boulevard de sa ville natale, Los Angeles. L'emplacement devant ce magasin de costumes et perruques n'a pas été choisi par hasard.
Becoming since a child, and I've seen these things ever since, walking the streets of Hollywood when I was a little boy, and coming to this toy shop, which is still here, which is incredible. So to have this in front of this place makes it extra special.
Your friendship has been such an enormous gift. When I met you, I was a weird kid.
When I hear Winona and other people use this word, weird, well, then count me in because I feel really, really comfortable around this guy working with him.
When they say you're weird, I don't know what's the definition.
I don't either. I never knew it when I was a child. In fact, as soon as they say that, I go, or the word normal, I didn't even understand that. So I always have a strange relationship to those words. I agree.
My agent called me somewhat reluctantly and he said, well, I'm just going to put this out there. There's this project. I thought, this is wild. They're making, these French people are making this movie about Hollywood during its, most glamorous time and so on. I was just, sign me up. I just said, I don't care if no one sees it. Like, who is going to see it? But I want to do it. I want to have the experience. And it ended up being from start to finish. I mean, obviously it was a great finish because we won 5 Academy Awards.
How is it dancing with Al Pacino?
I don't know. There's just something about him that was just really fun to work with. Again, I think we had really great chemistry. So that's important. I mean, you never know. You never know if you're going to have chemistry with somebody. So I think because we had that dance with each other as actors, as artists, as human beings, you just play off each other and you just go with it and you have fun. And so it was a lot of fun. I mean, I'm maybe a little taller than now, but it didn't matter. Yeah.
Premier pas. Yeah.
Premier pas.
First steps.
Okay.
In the mafia, the freshman.
Yeah. I know I say I've worked with all the godfathers, but I'm not in the mob. I'm not in the mafia. But yeah, I worked with De Niro, Pacino, and Brando. Marlon Brando was fantastic. He was not what I expected at all. I mean, he just loved actors. He loved the fact that he was doing a spoof on himself and making fun of himself from The Godfather. When I met him, he comes in wearing this blue velour jumpsuit and he looks so funny to me and I'm just like, oh my gosh, and he comes over and gives me this huge hug and he says, my daughter, because I play his daughter in the movie, Tina. I mean, you knew if he didn't like you, let's put it that way. He was very opinionated about that. But if he did like you, you were in his good graces, and so that was just an honor, honestly.
Merci.
Oh, merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup. Penelope Ann Miller. Notre voyage se termine ici à San Marino, banlieue de Los Angeles, où on aime de temps en temps venir voir le soleil californien se coucher. Rendez-vous dans une semaine pour naviguer en toute confidentialité dans l'univers du cinéma. Prenez bien soin de vous. Merci d'avoir été avec nous depuis Los Angeles. Bye.